All right, everyone. I have recently got my copy of the New History of DC, the Dakota Incident. I have read it, and today I'm going to share my thoughts on this issue. Initially, my thoughts from reading it have been a bit mixed. I'm not too blown away by it. I'm not super impressed, but I'm not 100% disappointed. I just kind of feel meh. But let's talk about it. So this story, and also spoiler alerts. I'll try my best not to spoil anything, but I'm just going to probably try my best to recap this story. So the story centers around something of a multiverse, where one of the characters in the story travels back in time. I don't want to spoil anything. I want you to get a chance to read it, but this is a very interesting start to this story. So this character goes back in time to investigate the Dakota incident. So one of the things off the jump that the book makes very clear is that it is rooted firmly in the 2021-22 Milestone relaunch continuity. It pulls heavily from that era with a few light nods to the original 90s run. So now in this version, as has also been mentioned in previous issues, the Big Bang isn't just a conspiracy to break up violent gangs in the community, but is also used against protesters. And it was all orchestrated by Alpha Industries, and Hardware or Curtis Metcalf is being framed for it. So we're aware of a lot of that kind of stuff. So they still will kind of stick with that continuity. So very much in the modern Milestone relaunch. But here's where I feel a little bit conflicted. We see everybody in this story. We see Static, we see Hardware, we see Icon, Rocket, the Blood Syndicate. And on paper, this sounds great. Why wouldn't you want to see some of your favorite who's who characters of Milestone? But something feels off. And I don't know what it is specifically, and I'll try my best to kind of touch on things. But the characters don't really pop like they used to. There is this is such a crazy thing to say, but it feels like it lacks that unique authenticity and that rawness that the original comics had. I don't think that it's just so bad, but one of the things that I always liked was, Hardware being the cold genius, Icon stoicism, Rocket's sharp moral compass and wittiness, the Blood Syndicate being pretty much nonchalant about what's going on unless you step on their turf. This isn't our fight. We're not really going to get involved. And that's kind of what I'm missing. So some of the stuff doesn't quite blend together for me. It's not so bad that it's just off-putting, but it just feels kind of, you'll get the feeling when you read it. I understand the point of them trying to make the Blood Syndicate a thing, but once again, I always feel like whenever I see them in more of a heroic state, I always just feel like it just ain't our fight. We not that. And another thing I didn't care for is that why not use the Shadow Cabinet in this launch? The author, Joe Ilyich, he wrote the Shadow Cabinet about a year ago. And so why wouldn't he bring those characters into this story for the Dakota incident? Even though I know it's more of a story about things that happened in the past, I would have preferred to have seen them in there. But they just aren't. And one of the things that I also noticed in a lot of the more modern Milestone continuity is the lack of any original characters or more so original villains. And so they rely heavily on a lot of callbacks to DC villains and DC characters. It doesn't necessarily take you out of the story, but it's something about it that's just kind of like, oh, so y'all are bringing this person in. Oh, you're bringing that person in. And I guess if you haven't read it yet, this is your spoiler alert. But as you can see in this photo, it's Lex Luthor. And there's Amanda Waller in here from the Suicide Squad. In previous issues, I saw Vandal Savage. And while that makes it a quintessential DC property, it's something about it that feels like it just feels gentrified. Because Milestone always never had to rely necessarily on references to other comics. They could either satirize them or they would have their own unique villains in this story. So that's one of the things that I kind of felt like kind of stood out to me. And one of the things that happens, I want to call it character assassination with Static. And I know this is a big spoiler, but I think that that's more of the trend with more male characters that we've noticed in more media, where we grew up with them being these heroic figures that could do no wrong, and seeing them kind of being deconstructed in a way similar to how we've seen a lot more of characters like a Luke Skywalker, kind of comes to mind. It's something about that that really just feels like either you guys got something cooked up that you guys are leading towards, or y'all really have no idea what you guys got going on. But overall, I felt like the issue does a good job sticking to the modern continuity. Although at times it may be a little off-putting, I think the story fits. It's a very quick read. And so go out, buy the comic. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about the new DC's Dakotaverse incident, the new characters, the implementation of DC villains and DC heroes, and what would you have liked to have seen? Leave it in the comments below. And that is my quick review, ramble, rant about this series.